Without any equipment, you can start improving bad knees right now.
Holy fucking shit, that's so cool. Hey folks, Dr. Mike here for RP Strength. I've been a longtime professor of sport and exercise science. I'm a competitive bodybuilder and Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu grappler, in which I also compete. Awkward way to say that, Dr. Mike. Today, we are going to be talking about Mr. Knees Over Toes guy. And I don't know his name. Scott, what's his name?
Oh, dude, I actually looked it up specifically for this video and I already forgot it.
It's strange to be known as Knees Over Toes guy only, and no one knows your name. I wonder if he gets, I'm sure he gets cited in Ben Patrick. I bet he gets cited in the airport and someone's like, you're that Knees Over Toes guy. And he's like, that's right. Well, honey, come meet Knees Over Toes guy. She's like, hello. He's like, that's Knees Over Toes. That's my name. All right, let's look at what he's got going on and see if we can't critique it from a respectful, though comedic. So no, it's all jokes, all fun, all love. Unlike our Liver King video, which was, hey, Liver King, eat a fucking cock for dinner. And not in the fun way, motherfucker. Maybe not as much love. 3, 2, 1, roll camera.
Having entered my 20s.
Oh my God, it's a puppy. He looks so mean. I want one. Oh, Knees Over Toes guy's in this. Okay, let's listen in.
Having entered my 20s with under a 20-inch vertical.
Me too. Is it supposed to be bigger than that?
That's what she said.
Jeremy Shillman. Sounds Jewish to me. Are we allowed to say that? Hey, 20 inches. You're like an NBA star.
Literally, I don't know if he could touch the rim with his fingertips.
Are you supposed to be able to touch the rim with your fingertips?
With no basketball, anything else.
Holy fucking white man. God damn. This motherfucker got on that vertical quick. I'm trying to hear about Knees Over Toes, bro. You got me. Dump that rock in your face. Shazam.
Now entering my 30s with over a 40-inch vertical, more than double where I genetically started from.
That's impressive. That's impressive.
I'm living proof that anybody can become a world-class athlete through training alone, and I'm going to show you exactly how.
Okay, so that statement, I love his passion. I love his enthusiasm. I love that it worked for him, but it is categorically false that anyone can become a world-class athlete. It's probably the opposite of the statement is 99% more true than that statement, which is to say, if you said nobody can become a world-class athlete, you'd be way more correct than everyone can become a world-class athlete. Again, his attitude is dope, and I'm sure his methods work really well to make you a better athlete than you are now. And some people like him will get a huge training effect and become world-class. Some people will get a great training effect and become really good. Some people will get a moderate training effect and become better. Some a small one and kind of like, oh, is it worth it? Some people very, very small training effect and maybe more harm than good. And that happens to everyone. Like people that try the RP hypertrophy app, like some of them get amazing gains, some of them get great gains, some don't get amazing gains. We're just trying to do our best, and we can't promise everyone's going to become a world-class bodybuilder. It's just not how it works. But there is no avoiding hard training if you want to grow. But if you want to grow the most, your training needs to be hard and smart. RP Hypertrophy app will make sure you're progressing on track, monitoring and adjusting your workout at all times. So for all that work you're doing, you can be sure you're getting the best results.
So in Knee Ability Zero, we spend 12 weeks just building resiliency behind the knee and inside the knee through working our way back until we can go palms to floor with full quad flex, as well as heel up, full hamstring covering the calf, an ATG split squat, because when you go to full bend, you're not only actively strengthening the muscles, you're passively strengthening your tendons and your ligaments.
That's cool. It's definitely true that putting your joints in extreme and progressively more extreme and more loaded ranges of motion is awesome for building resiliency. So the specific methods he uses no doubt have their merits. Probably not going to come in a ton on if they're the best way to do things, but one of the great things that Ben Patrick, aka Knees Over Toes guy, brought to a really big awareness in the fitness industry is what some folks like Adam Meekins, like the barbell medicine folks, and a bunch of others have been saying for quite some time, and that's you build a lower probability of injury into your body not by shying away from injurious positions and exercises, but by progressively and gently, and then not so gently, leaning into them. And for this alone, Knees Over Toes Guy has my unending respect, because it used to be true that in 10 years, 15 years ago, you walk into a gym and you do a deep squat with your knees going over your toes, or you round your back at all in the deadlift, and people, and dare I say for the deadlift one, even myself, which is embarrassing, but we all do dumb shit and then get better, would say, dude, you're dumb. Like, you're going to get hurt. Like, your back's going to blow out if you round it a little bit. Especially if you get on your tippy toes in a deep squat or lunge and get your knee real far away from your toes, your knee is going to explode. Shrapnel's going to hit a little kid. Why is he in the gym? I don't know, but he's had such a great day. And then he's blind because he's got your knee shrapnel and the shit, and he spends the rest of his life trying to piece together what happened. And you know what? He ends up just not wanting to be around anymore because you ruined his life with your stupid, way full range of motion training. Knees Over Toes Guy made it very clear to a ton of people what others have been saying for quite a long time, is that the extremes build resiliency. What you don't want to do is start with just you and your body that, your wife says is cool, but everyone else knows isn't that great, and just go in and just do the craziest high-loaded extreme range of motion shit the next day. That's for sure how you get hurt. But if you start and slowly build on your range of motion and your strength in many of the ways that he suggests here, super great, over time you develop a gnarly resiliency. And that, throwing the football around with your kids or getting up out of the car or bending down to catch something really quick, the probability that hurts you is so tiny because you've just been in radical positions with the radical forces and you're used to the shit. This is the gold standard now in our industry. Thank God. Now, every now and again, you have some old dude be like, you shouldn't be doing that. Your knees are going to break. And a good response to that is headphones, mirror, continue to squat deep. I'm kidding. You got to talk to older folks. Oh, is that right, old man? Maybe you need some fucking Metamucil. No, wait, that's disrespectful. Thank you for your opinion. I do feel better doing it this way, but I'll absolutely give some thought to what you said. I'm on contest prep right now on a considerable amount of drugs. Faking being nice is really hard. Scott, how am I doing?
So far, so good.
Thank you. Back to the video.
This also explains why the greatest jumpers of all time, let's look at Cadorziani, 50-inch vertical and dunking.
It's all these white people. You know what I'm saying? There's no way they're the greatest jumpers of all time.
Stephen Holm, 5'11", gold medalist high jumper, were the best full knee benders of anyone in their sports.
Best full knee benders of anyone in their sport. I don't think there's an exact connection there. The vast proportion of the best high jumpers of all time typically don't even squat to depth, they just don't know. And because high jumping doesn't require you to get into that really deep position, the ROI for specifically high jumpers to train ultra deep is probably not as high as it is for combat athletes and sport athletes, which have much more unpredictable movement patterns. But getting a lot of injury resiliency and building up a lot of size and strength for your quadriceps muscles and your glutes, etc., by going deep definitely doesn't hurt the prospect of jumping higher and might help a little bit.
And able to compete for longer, and now Cador's 47, 5'11", still dunking.
So Scott, what am I doing wrong?
I'll just say you were born that way to keep it PC.
But I get to say the real thing. Aye.
Now after that 12-week base, we're gonna spend the next 12 weeks just fighting down for a 3 count and pushing back up. If you're a pro athlete, go ahead and get a Nordic bench, but know that you can get the exact same feeling from aerobic steppers.
That power rack really came up for a second. I was gonna freak out. So the Nordic Curl, as this is called, is a phenomenal hamstring exercise for size. It absolutely is great for injury resiliency, especially for folks like sprinters who, from what I understand, most often have hamstring injuries, not when they're pulling along with the ground, but when that foot swings forward on that lead step, your hamstrings contract ultra rapidly in order to slow it down, and that's what can get you hurt. That insanely high force at that stretch of the hamstring can be really injurious in some cases, but that is precisely what you train under a deep degree of control in the Nordic Curl. If you get good enough in the Nordic Curl, at first I would say, definitely push off the ground or walk yourself down on a pole. If you're a stripper, this is extra good news for you because it's sport specific. Eventually, if you can get down in the Nordic Curl after some warming up, of course, to lie completely flat with your chest down and hands up and come up, that's baller. If you can do 5 or 10 of those, you're in a completely different realm of hamstring strength relative to your body, and you're probably fastest compared to what you started with. Eventually, if you can have loaded Nordic curls for sets of 5 to 10 or sets of 3 to 6, holy shit, you're at a different level. This is a great exercise, but ease into it like crazy.
And if we pause here for a second, you'll see I found a ton of ways that everyone can work on Nordic.
The Nordic strap is f***ing brilliant. Wow. Any bench is just a f***ing Nordic bench. That's f***ing great. It is kind of narrow though, but damn, that's legit. Whoa, the Smith machine? Scott, doesn't that look like some recipe for a YouTube video compilation of disasters in the gym? Yeah, I'm not going to say it is, but f***ing damn, dude. Hey folks, there's still more video to come, but if you want extra, super more video with uncut XXX rated, content, we have a members area, and there's tons of other videos and super nerdy, informative content all the time. If you think you like that sort of stuff, give a thought to joining. All right, back to more video.
Without any equipment, you can start improving bad knees right now.
Holy fucking shit, that's so cool. I mean, if I had the balance, I'm definitely strong enough to do that, but I don't, and I'm not. Damn.
Step 1, 10-minute walk, but backward.
Okay.
And if you use a treadmill, make sure it's not turned on.
The 10 minutes backward walking is curious. I think Ben Patrick, Mr. Knees Over Toes guy, has like a real big conviction that backwards walking is really great for the knees. And maybe there's a mechanism there which I don't understand, which again, physical therapy and rehabilitation is not remotely my expert area, so maybe I'm missing something. I think he's had a huge positive experience with it himself. No doubt he's heard from many others and probably coached many others to have a really great experience. Mechanistically, I totally understand the rationale for lifting with extreme ranges of motion and knees over toes. I totally understand the rationale for stiff-legged deadlifts and various hamstring curls and definitely Nordic curls to strengthen the backside of the knee. There could definitely be some lateral lunging movements that I would recommend for all kind of bulletproofing the knee 360. But the backwards walking has me a little stumped. It's definitely a great way to warm the knees up. And maybe that promotes really good blood flow and maybe a little bit more healing that way. Because it doesn't have an extreme range of motion in it, nor does it transduce a lot of force through the knees, it's probably not directly rehabilitating and strengthening the joints and connective tissues much, is my guess. But I would say this, is a guy that seems to know a lot of stuff. And if you're having knee problems, trying some backward walking for a little while in conjunction with other therapies would definitely be a thing to try. And that's probably what I'm comfortable right now saying about it. So I could talk shit and say it's a clown show and it's fucking stupid and there's no evidence for it, but try to be a little bit more open-minded than that. It's probably a good idea, because it could be one of these things where 5 years from now, backwards walking is like a totally legit thing that science supported and I look like a clown. It would be accurate because I am a clown. Folks, if I have anything to teach you, it's never, ever trust a clown, ever. And if your children are, you know what, never mind, all these clowns. Anyway, let's see what else.
Then 25 tibialis raises. This does not directly strengthen the knee. It strengthens this muscle that goes from below the knee to the inside of the foot. That gets weaker when we stop slamming force into the knee. So bolstering it gives us a better chance to heal and return to activities without being as vulnerable.
That's cool. Pretty good rehab advice.
You just put money in the bank for areas that may have been decaying for years. And you improve your chances of regaining pain-free positions and eventually...
Oof, I love this. That thing he's doing right now, where that knee goes over the toe with the vertical forces, is a position which many of you look at and go, oh my God, how is he not hurting? And that's precisely why you need to be doing the shit. I prefer to do it with load, hack squats, sissy squats, etc. But for many people, this wall bracing one leg at a time version is a really good place to start. Maybe even 2 legs at a time. Because in most positions of the body, if you look at someone doing it and their positioning looks like it hurts, that's a you problem. And I do mean problem. Most movements that people do, if you get, let's say, a not currently injured Olympic level gymnast and they watch everyone do every movement they've ever seen, there's probably almost nothing they're going to go, ooh, that looks like it hurts. They're just going to be like, yeah, I can do that, I can do that, I can do that. It looks fine. And then when you show them more videos of people doing this kind of stuff, they're like, is there a point here? Am I supposed to think something's wrong with this? Whereas if you show a regular person who's maybe in their 50s, maybe really out of shape, maybe has trouble climbing stairs, you show them some shit like that where the knee's that far over the toe when you're standing up, they're going to be like, oh my God, that guy's going to fuck up his knees. False. Your knees are fucked up and you'd be progressively doing this to get them better.
Now this is a super important time to point out that every movement in the ATG system regresses so that anyone can do it at some level.
My man, why'd I spend all that time talking about the shit you should be doing if he was just going to get to it? Scott, did you know he was going to get to it and explain it better than me? Fuck you.
There's 80-year-olds doing this. My mom is able to run like a gazelle at 66 years old.
I'm not going to make fun of people's moms. I'm not going to do it. I'm just going to say gazelles run a little bit faster than that. That's all I'm going to say. Shut up, Mike. It's not cool. But yo, real talk, all jokes aside, most 66-year-olds can't walk in that athletic of a manner. Mama's got it going on. She is sure shit lucky to have Mr. Ben Patrick be her son and teach her how to do stuff. What if she's the one that taught him how to do shit? He's like, Mom, you know all those things you're teaching me. You should be on social media. She's like, I don't want that shit, man. Let me just tell you how to do it, and then you do it on the internet. This is really awesome. And the regression stuff is super, super beautiful. You start out with minimum movement, and slowly over time, you expand your range of motion, expand the loading. It's great stuff. So in general, my view of Mr. Ben Patrick is from the very limited experience. Now, truth be told, I've only seen like 20 minutes of videos. All the video we watched together is what I've ever seen of him. Sounds like a person who has a lot to offer. Does that mean he knows everything and he's right about everything? No, that doesn't apply to me or anyone else. Does it mean that he's someone to follow to learn some cool shit from? Yes, I would highly recommend it. And does that mean that there's a huge takeaway for this video? Yes. Do not shy away from movements that are painful. Unless you have a formal diagnosis of something's fucked up, then you better have some fucking surgery scheduled. If something's fucked up and it's not a surgical thing, 9 times out of 10, progressively getting into the irritation range and then out of it, healing a little bit, getting into a little bit further and out, slowly expanding your range of motion, and then expanding how much loading you're putting through it, putting your body into uncomfortable positions precisely close to the areas where it's hurting the most or the least capable is how you become better. So Ben Patrick, aka Knees Over Toes, gets a this shit will harden you the fuck up out of 10, which is one hell of a rating. All right, that's all I got. See you guys next time. All right, that was fun. My knees feel better already. If you want even better feeling knees, watch this video here. It may have nothing to do with your knees, but at least it's another video to watch. See you next time.